On 4-wheel drive 24/7, we've shown you the biggest 4-wheel drive challenges in the country.
Whoa! A wild south coast!
But this one is on a whole other level. Australia's biggest sand dune, the infamous Callcup Hill.
You think you've driven on soft sand? This stuff is insanity.
We're dropping right down to 7, which is about as low as I'd be comfortable going.
Join us as we show you around my favourite destination in Australia.
Hey! This is why I love this part of the coast. Sensational.
This is one adventure that almost gets the better of us.
A knocking sound coming from the engine. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't look good.
This is Off-Grid.
A lot has happened since you last saw us. We were up north, clocked over 12,000 kilometres on one of the best trips I have ever done. Back down home now, and we are just going to do a little cheeky trip around my old stomping ground. This is where I grew up. It's where my memories are. The southwest corner of Western Australia between the two capes, Cape Leeuwin and Cape Naturalist. So much to see and do down here. I haven't got time to do the whole lot, but I am going to try and give Stephen Harley just a small sniff, a little taster of what the Capes region has to offer, and I've picked out some of the best bits. We're going to do some of the most quintessentially Southwest WA activities, and I have got a little nocturnal surprise for the both of you.
Ooh.
The less we speak about that now, the better.
Is this one that we need to turn the cameras off for, or are we back rolling?
We need to not show where we are. That's the only bit I'm going to give away, mate. Other than that, it's a free-for-all. You're going to love it.
The forests of the southwest that we're going to be checking out are located about 4 hours south of Perth, a gateway to a massive section of wild coastal adventures that you could spend a lifetime to fully explore. But what makes this particular area so unique are these ancient forests.
Holy balls. Feels like home. This is where I grew up. This is where I spent all my youth. Ride me push bike through these forests down here, fishing the beaches, looking for trout, marron, yabbying, camping out of here. This is where I feel the most connected to anywhere else in Australia. I love this. I freaking love it.
Right now, we're heading south through the Hawke National Park. And believe it or not, we're actually on the edge of a huge coastal sand system. And that can make for some challenging driving.
Oh, we've got a little soft section coming up here. I'm gonna give it a bit of a red hot rally and just see how I go through here. I may or may not make it, we'll see. Here's a few berries. See how we go. That's a lot of berries. But we made it through. Oh boy, I love a V8. I love a V8! Just too much fun.
Now, the old collie has been working hard taking Stephen Hales around the country for the last 6 months, but she's not exactly a powerhouse.
Yes, 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 yes!
You've done it.
No!
Oh, he hasn't done it.
Hey, Harley, you got a copy?
Yep.
Do you want me to send Steph in to have a go?
Send in the big dog.
I might give that a go. I reckon I'll get that.
I have faith in you, mate.
See if you can't pin it in third and then back into second when you get to about there and...
Let's get a bit of ultimate 9 going as well. Get that throttle control and bump right up.
Holy heck!
Oh, that feels good.
Yeah, I'm loving this.
Yeah, you got it, you got it.
All the way. With LBJ.
Ah, there we go.
That's it. That's the full send mode.
He's done it.
He's certainly done it.
Another special part of this region are these freshwater rivers that wind through the forests. They're clear and cold and jammed packed full of marron and trout.
This is a pretty little water crossing here, mate. I don't think the water crossing is going to be a problem at all. There's a little... there's a little bit of a climb on the other side.
Okay, if you can get that big thing on the other side and give me something to winch off, we might be right.
There's a bit of a lean going into it too, which feels a bit weird when you've got a van on the back.
Looks dicey from back here too.
V wonky.
That water's slowing a little bit.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit nervy, Orch.
Oh yeah. I reckon this river crossing is going to have a couple of little underbody bangers on it. So yeah, guys, get yourself some underbody protection. Look at that. That is stunning. Wow. How pretty. Oh yeah, that's a proper little climb out of here. We'll just try and crawl out. See how things go here.
Starting the climb. That looks very steep. Oh. Oh, look at Gaz go. He's done it.
Must be nice to have a big body.
Y62.
That's cool. Yeah, she's a bit of a climb on the other side, mate, but just slowly, you'll crawl through.
Here we go.
You got this, my friend.
Just got a nudge under that tree there too.
Or low. Maybe.
Yes, correct. All the lows.
Ooh, he's taking the wide line. I like it. I should get out of the way here. Oh no. That's a pretty bloody good effort there from Harley. He's got the vehicle up and over the rock step, but getting the van up is, of course, another matter. Oh, maybe not. I didn't see that. I was running for my life. It's just because your van's the hard part now.
Yeah, I think so.
Nope, that's CV territory.
We might winch that, I reckon.
Yeah.
So what I've got here is two trees in the perfect position to winch. I've got one right here and one up there. Either one will work, but this is where just having a bit of a think before you start winching can really pay dividends. That one there, if you think about it, is going to pull the vehicle hard into this bank on the way up and the van with it. This one is going to pull the vehicle and the van away from the bank and up onto this flat section here where he can drive off on his own steam. This is our tree. A winch is something that really opens up so many more places for you to explore, especially when towing, giving you both the confidence to tackle tracks you might not normally, and of course, allowing you to travel with a lot more mechanical sympathy. In no time at all, the guys are hooked up and both car and van are cruising to the top. You're doing it, you're doing it.
Yeah, you got this. Oh, mate. You did it. Well done.
Our journey over the past months has taken us almost 20,000 kilometres across Australia. And when you're travelling for that long, you've got to be prepared for the unexpected. Out of nowhere, the Colorado has developed something that sounds suspiciously like an engine knock.
There's a bit of a loud knocking and it's only getting worse, I think.
Doesn't sound great at all. We've got plenty of oil.
Yes, we do.
At this stage, it's probably not going to be the issue at all.
No.
Side of the track, going to be very hard to diagnose exactly what's going on, but a knocking sound coming from the engine. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it doesn't look good. There's nothing obvious.
Now, a knock under the bonnet could be caused by a number of things, but you'll remember from Sean's recent Tassie trip how a top-end knock could spell disaster. So even though we're not 100% on the cause, we're not taking any chances. And that means flat towing the collie out of here.
All right, well, as is often the case in life, the Nissan has stepped up, come to the rescue, the big GU, the camera car, the car that won't quit, the car that won't die, the car that will not say no. We're going to tow Stephen Hales down to a major highway, which is about 8k down this way, so that's nice and easy. We've just got to get around this corner here, which could be a little bit difficult because now we've got four-wheel drive strap, four-wheel drive caravan. It's quite the length. So I'm going to get the trigonometry out of my head, like playing pool, get him around this corner. And then once they do, we've got the track that we just found that goes all the way straight back there. So let's get around the corner.
Doing a 180 on a blind corner isn't ideal, but we've got our camera guy spotting and he's making sure we're doing this safely.
Yeah, sweet.
This is pretty gutting for the guys, but unfortunately, this is just a part of life on the road.
Insurance and roadside assistance is key.
If the collie has an engine knock, then it's going to need a new engine. And that'll be a huge and costly repair. For all we know, this could be the end of the collie. But either way, the guys will need to head to the nearest town and workshop to find out. One thing that defines Australians is their willingness to help. And sure enough, we found a local legend up in Bridgetown, Naaman from Southwest Diesel, who's dropped everything to try and get the collie back on the road. While the guys are chasing up repairs, I've dropped the van off at a mate's property nearby. But now, I've got a day up my sleeve, and I've hatched a plan for a mini mission with just me and my camera guy.
Rightio, we've dropped the vans off. Only took me 5 minutes. It was good to see me, mate, too. I haven't caught up with him in a while. Plan now is I'm going to head down towards the coast, and I've been told of a hut down here that I've never visited, and I've got permission to camp at. So, haven't been down here for a couple of decades, it's my old stomping ground. I am frothing, and that is the key take-home message. Never let an opportunity go by. 24 hours has popped up, could just sit in the pub. No way. Hitting the coast, and we're going to suck the guts out of this one. Let's get into it.
Where we're headed is a massive coastal reserve known as the D'Entrecasteaux National Park, taking in incredible beaches and huge dune systems. Just wait till you guys see this.
These South Coast beach tracks, they feel like coming home. Grew up down here, and I used to come down on these tracks to go salmon fishing with my old man. We used to come in, though, on a 3-wheel motorbike. We used to park the car and trailer, back up there, jump on the 3-wheel motorbike with a tent, water, and down we'd come. Back in the day, we had a black dog. His name was Sam. He used to run all the way in here. Fittest dog in Australia, that little bugger. But what it did was shape my experience and really connected me to this part of Australia. I freaking love it. Word of advice. The sand down here, you think you've driven on soft sand or soft beaches before? This stuff is insanity. I'm down to 15 PSI right now, but to get down to the beach, I reckon I'll have to go down to single digits. Yeah, boy. Have a go at that. The Southern Ocean. This is why I love this part of the coast. Sensational.
You've heard me say west is best plenty of times, but when you look at that wild Southern Ocean, I think you can understand what I mean. This coast is pure, unspoiled adventure. And sure enough, I got the whole place almost entirely to myself.
Wowzers. Have a go at that ocean. She wild and woolly. Proper wild and woolly. Whoa. Look at that. That there is the mouth of the Warren River. You're not getting across that today. Holy heck, that's canali out there. Wowzers. Holy heck!
That's next level. Good period of time, you can sometimes cross this and continue up this way. Today, however, no one's crossing that. There's no tyre tracks on the other side. Not happening. But that's okay, because where we're camping tonight is back up this way. Quite frankly, I'm pretty happy about that. So this is a volume of fresh water coming down through here. You can drink that, there's no salt in it at all. The reason the colour looks like a cup of tea is because of the tannins from all the tea trees back up behind the sand dunes in the forest. They leach out to the soil, the water picks them up, and it looks like a cup of tea, but that, perfectly fresh water. I'm getting sandblasted. Whoa! A wild south coast!
Callcup Hill, on the other side of the Warren, is one of the craziest sand climbs in the country, and we'll definitely be trying to get there in the next few days.
Man, oh man. Oh yeah. She wild and woolly out there. Lucky for us though, I've got a cracking spot tonight that'll be out of this wind, protected and glorious. To get there though, we've got to get off this beach. And by goodness, when that southerly is howling through here like this, what it does is it picks up that fine blowing sand and just deposits us down the beach, so it becomes so soft. All the climbs out of here are going to be like talcum powder. Let's see if we can get out of here.
You can't mess around on climbs like this, and I've already got my tyres down to 14 PSI. All right, this is a bit of a sand dune of consequence, but not the biggest in the area.
And it's soft, boy. You can't see it, but it is soft. I love this vehicle. Holy balls, I love this vehicle.
Now, like I said, the hut we're heading to today is pretty special and one that you need to do a bit of advanced planning for if you want to visit. Entry is via pre-bookings only, but that means you get the whole place to yourself. And I can tell you now, not many people know that this little gem even exists.
Oh! This is what you might call an exceptionally tight track. Hopefully, it'll all be worth it when we get there. The key to this, I think, is just take it nice and slow and try not to listen to that noise. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. Thank goodness these clear views fold back in, because I reckon I would have ripped them off by now. Oh, that screeching noise.
The forest might be dense, but it holds a few surprises, and this one is right ahead. The Yeagerup hut.
Well, this fancy bit of kit here is a modern adaptation of an old theme. You see, this location right here in the 1960s was actually an old cattleman's hut because they used to graze cattle, believe it or not, right through the southwest. And there still remains a couple of the old cattleman's huts. This one no longer exists, and instead, DBCA have built this absolute cracking structure right here. Now, this is perfect for big groups, or if you're not quite as self-sufficient as you should be when you come out bush and you want to sort of check out camping for the first time, maybe you want to use a drop toilet and have a table down here, this place is perfect. And we have got it all to ourselves tonight. How good is that?
Well, a bloke sure could get used to the luxuries of van life. However, I set the Y62 up to be both a tow vehicle and to camp out of. Whilst the old girl is still a bit of a work in progress, she's damn comfortable and very practical.
Have a look at that hut set up back there. How good is this? You know, being back down here brings back so many childhood memories, and I've got to share with you a story that if you don't hear it from me, you'd literally never believe it. Go back to the mid-80s. I'm down here with my old man. I'm a little tacker. We're fishing for salmon on the beach. The old man, like me, is a keen photographer. He's got his photography gear with him because you just never know. We're finished for the day. He says to me, Graham, everything packed away? I said, yeah, Dad, everything's packed away. He says, have you closed the back of the four-wheel drive? I said, yeah, Dad, of course I have. We drive all the way back out through the dunes, all the way back to Pemberton. We get home. I hadn't closed the back of the car. His photography gear has fallen out on a track somewhere. Now fast forward 30 years, 3 decades. I'm working for a publication company and I've written a story with photos about this area down here. We get a little letter, comes in and it says, oh, g'day, I think I've got Graham's dad's camera. I go down to the Yelling Up post office, there's a big box, and as if in a time capsule, right there in that box was my dad's blue camera bag, and inside that was everything. His old Nikon, his old lenses, his old flash, even his old hippie strap that he had on the camera back in the 70s. So, family dinners from now on, I am absolved of everything. I got the camera back. Dad now, for those wondering, has that old camera sitting on the mantelpiece in his study. All right, I've got to cook tea.
You can't beat cooking on a fire, but as you know, I've started to use induction cooking as well. And tonight, we get the best of both worlds.
I'll get this plated up. I'll tell you what, for a night where Steph and Hales are still trying to fix their car, they're back in town, I think they're going to be ready tomorrow. We found ourselves a hut, we've been down the beach, we've been across the dunes, we've had an absolute blast. Couple of brewskis, full moon tonight. Should I say it? Should I say it? Okay, I'll do it. Doesn't get any better than this.
The Yeagerup hut really locates you close to the coast and the Yeagerup Dunes and offers private access to a stretch of the Marron River, making it absolutely worth the effort to book and check out.
I'm a big fan, I always tell you folks out there, I'm a big fan of modifying my four-wheel drive slowly. Don't just buy a four-wheel drive and then throw the catalogue at it. because you just don't know what you might need and what you won't need. I like to do my four-wheel drives up really slowly over time and add things as I need them. Now, I found that this side here, I wasn't maximising the space correctly. I had sort of big gaps and I was chucking chairs and things in there that didn't really need to go on this side just to fill those gaps. Now, I hate using this word or this phrase, but it really was a game changer, and that was the Mitts pantry. Now, this thing is the bomb, and you'd be amazed at how much you can fit in here. I've only got it about half full, and I've got eggs, olive oil, I've got rice, I've got what I'm getting at is that this, all I had to do was move my little pantry over here this way a little bit, this a little way this way, and just make that gap big enough to fit that bad boy in there. And now what I've done, not only am I using every available bit of space in here, but I've also got so much more storage than I had before. Now, one other thing, I found out yesterday afternoon just how strong a Mitts alloy canopy is, because this bozo right here that's holding the camera opened this side up and forgot to close it. I drove for about half a kilometre through the scrub with this door open. You can actually see up in here all the scratch marks from the trees. You can see where they've hit along here. I thought I'd written off the entire side of my canopy. No, she's good to go. She's still plumb, still works perfectly, still closes, but I still reckon you owe me a beer, mate, because that could have gone absolutely pear-shaped. Now, I just got a sniff of reception, just 1 bar of 3G down here, and I've got a message from Steph and Harley, and it's looking like they could be good to go in another hour or two. So I'm gonna get a coffee in me, get packed up, get on the road, because the show goes on.
Yep, a lot has happened in the last 24 hours, and Steph and Harley have gotten some very good news. After a bit of time on the hoist, Naaman has tracked down the issue, and that's a failing clutch plate and flywheel.
All right, so here we are. We've got the collie up on the hoist. Guys here are doing absolute wonder work for us. So they're getting in today. They're going to pull the clutch and the flywheel because it's making a bit of a knocking sound. So we're going to pull that out, check over the whole vehicle, make sure there's nothing too inconspicuous.
After a bit of a ring around, the guys have managed to find a new clutch assembly. A few hours on the tools and a new clutch is in. And just like that, the collie lives again. With Steph and Harley back on the road, our adventure can continue. And we've soon got the vans hooked up and once again are tracking towards another secret campsite I've promised to show them. First though, we've got some more sites to check out.
Ooh, little crossing of the Blackwood River here. These rivers, all these streams down here, pristine, utterly pristine, and they are home to something very important. Tonight's main menu, if we can catch them. We've got to catch them first, but more on that when we get to camp. Ooh, it's a rocky little crossing, this one. I think I'll just ease my way in, try and pick a bit of a line over to the right here. Oh, they're slippery too, these rocks. They really are. Oh, there's me bash plates. That's why you have bash plates on your four-wheel drive, people. Oh, settle down. Oh, the old hybrid's just following along behind doing its thing. It's good to see.
The collie's new clutch is getting a bit of a rough intro as the guys take on this particular crossing. But the real issue here is clearance. Harley gives it a fair old shake of the sauce bottle, but I reckon this one might call for the winch.
Now there is definitely one downside to filming with the man, the myth, the legend that is Graham Cahill. It's definitely that you're running your own recovery gear.
I'll cop that, sorry mate, but the least I can do is provide an anchor point.
Harley's just got himself into a spot of bother there. Right at the entrance there's these big rocks. I managed to get a wheel up over the top, but of course I'm running 35, so it wasn't such a big deal. He's managed to get himself a bit hung up, so we'll just use the back of the Maverick to winch off. Rightio, got my foot on the brake. Oh, gee whiz, he's really bouncing around down there.
Not the sound you're hoping for.
Oh,
After a couple of tense moments, the guys are through unscathed.
Oh, those sounds are horrific, aren't they?
Yeah, not what you like to hear going on with your four-wheel drive, unfortunately.
Probably noticed me looking up out of my windscreen a lot. It's because I'm looking at these big, well, when I say big, bloody massive trees. Now, these are called carry trees, K-A-R-R-I, endemic only to the southwest corner of Western Australia. Tallest tree in Western Australia, one of the tallest trees in the world, can reach heights of up to 90 metres and can live for around 300 years. Now, they were logged extensively, extremely heavily, way back in the day, which of course, in this part of the world, a bit divisive because they're so beautiful and because there's only small pockets of them out through here. Bit of controversy. Someone actually dated one in an old sawmill and gave the age at 600 years, twice what the life expectancy was thought to be of a carry tree, which of course really got people up in arms. Yeah, it's a bit of a divisive one, that one. I'll let you check it out for yourself. Carry trees though, look at the size of the bloody things. Unbelievably huge, and the fact that they just have this big, straight, strong trunk that goes straight up, my God, they are an impressive tree.
Scattered around the region are a few trees that you can do more than just look at. And one of the tallest is here in the Warren National Park. That's right, you can literally climb this bad boy all the way to the top.
Well, folks, I gotta say, if you're even ever so slightly sketchy at heights, this might not be the activity for you, but I'm gonna put it out there to my good friend and best mate, Mr. Sean Whale. $500 out of my pocket to the charity of your choice. If next time you're in WA, you come down here and you climb the Bicentennial tree with me. Is this the top? No, we still got more.
Yeah, man, another one.
Wow. So cool. If you ever get a chance, put this one right up there on your bucket list. This is sick.
Now, I've been dropping hints about our special mission for the trip, and I reckon it's time to get onto it. For that, we're heading to a mate's secret hideaway on a property just up the road.
Well, Steph, Harles, this little piece of paradise right here is going to be home for the next couple of nights. But there is a proviso, mate. There is a big but on the end of that sentence.
We like big butts. What have you got for us?
You got to help me catch dinner.
Mate, that hasn't gone so well for us in the past, so
We're going hungry.
we might be hungry tonight.
All right, well, this one doesn't involve using fishing line. We're actually going to use a piece of wire and a stick.
What are we catching?
Yeah, sounds primitive, but yeah, fill us in. What do we got?
All shall be revealed. For now, all I need to know is how good at you at pulling.
He's great.
Yeah, look, I'm going to leave that one to the imagination, I think.
This Mint Lakeside camp is going to be our base camp for a few days while exploring the area. And in a matter of minutes, the Mavericks are set up and a well-earned beer is on the cards.
There's been a lot of talk about this secret ingredient for tonight's dinner. The secret ingredient is southwest, local, indigenous, native marron. What is a marron? I can hear you all saying around Australia right now. Well, what I've got in here is what we need to catch marron. Marron is a freshwater crayfish, local to the waters of southwest Western Australia only. It is found only in one other place, and that is Kangaroo Island, where it is, of course, an introduced species and a pest. It's found nowhere else in Australia except the rivers and streams and lakes of southwest WA, and it is an absolute freaking delicacy. And this is where it all begins. Rightio. Everything we need for tonight's dinner, except the marron, is in this box right here. But first things first, folks, marron. There is a season for marron. It runs from the 8th of January to the 8th of February, and you need a licence. You can't just rock up down here in June and go marroning. It is extremely illegal to do so. Now, we are currently outside of marron season, but this right here is my mate Drew's property, and he is a commercial marron fisherman, which means that he farms marron way over there. This, however, is a natural lake that runs off the Blackwood River. So the marron that are in here are wild marron, which is fantastic for us because it means
we can legally fish for marron on private property with Drew with his commercial licence and hopefully get a feed of marron. How we're going to do it, we're going to drop these bags of bait on the edge of the river, leave them till dark, and that is where the fun begins because I'm going to teach Steph and Harley how to snare wild marron. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how we go.
Spot on. Look at you go. So here we are, placing just a couple of markers where our baits are going. Now this tip's come from old mate Graham. He's obviously been doing this since he was a young bloke. So put a marker out when you come back out at dark. That way you can find where you've laid your baits.
Rightio, baits are in. We've just got one more thing we need to do, and that's going to require a beer, a chair, some wire, and a stick.
Now, marron are mostly nocturnal creatures, so we're going to have to wait till it gets dark to chase them. And that means a chance to kick back and enjoy a glorious southwest evening.
Well, as nice as that fire is, and as cooling and as refreshing as these beverages are, this is no time to be weak. There's work to be done. You take that, please.
Oh, righto.
You also need that. This is not what you're thinking. What we're going to be doing here, folks, is building a snare. The idea behind this, the marron get attracted to the baits that we put in. You need to put the snare down whilst he's feasting on the baits. Slowly but surely, just tickle it enticingly under his tail. Don't let him know you're there. Harley, you're going to be good at this, something tells me. When you get to a certain point, whip it up and you got him. I know that looks ridiculous, but trust me, it works. In order for this to happen, you guys are going to need to make your own.
Catching marron by snare is perhaps the hardest way to get a feed of these delicious crustaceans. It's how I started, so I've decided to throw Steph and Harley straight in the deep end.
Well, we have set ourselves an almost impossible task. Those that come from West Australia will know snaring for marron is bloody hard work. However, this is the way we're going to do it tonight. We've seen a few. These guys have got their eye in, so hopefully, I don't know, we only need a couple for dinner. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Now up, violent, no. Oh, that's it, that's it, that's it. Just ease it under his tail.
And just lift it up?
Yeah, lift it up.
Hey!
Oh my God!
Yes!
I did it! See you for dinner.
Yeah, well, yeah. Table for two. Let's put him in the bucket. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, shivers. Hang on,
Don't lose him.
hang on. There we go. I got him. I got him.
Yes!
Holy goodness gracious, they put up a fight, don't they?
You're up, Orch.
You're up.
I'm
Your
down
turn.
one, Graham's down one.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stressed out. Have we lost
Oh,
him?
yeah. No, just there. Stay there.
That's it. Now go powerful with the lift. Yes,
Oh, yes, you got
Yeah,
him.
boy!
That's what I'm talking about.
There we are. Yeah, good.
I've got to say, there are easier ways to procure a meal than trying to snare marron out of a lake. However, we have just enough tonight for some marron pasta, and I think these two, I can't stop them. It gets addictive, it's super fun. If you ever get a chance, southwest of WA, here before the 8th till the 12th of February, so 8th of Jan to the 12th of February, and you get yourself a marron licence, get on down to one of the rivers down here, get yourself a snare and have a go for yourself. You only need a couple for a feed. Marron pasta, here we come. I'm gonna leave these two down here to have a go, and I'm gonna get to the kitchen. I tell you, like any good marron session, the night has gotten away from us, but we do have the ingredients right here for my universally famous marron pasta. Have a go what's in here. So I'm just gonna pop these in Steph and Harley's freezer. They don't know that because they're still down there marinating, but by putting them in the freezer, these guys kind of go into a bit of a stupor. They kind of go to sleep, and that way I can dispatch them really easily. They don't feel anything, and that is the way to do any crustacean, any crayfish. Just pop them in the freezer, 15, 20 minutes, they go to sleep, and you can do the dirty work. I'll do that now. Okie dokie, the nasty business has been done. We've done the old, the Coles tinfoil wrap here, in so much as that we've taken a live animal and we've turned it into something that most people find palatable. So I've cut the tails into halves. And in here too, we have, oh my goodness, my favourite part, the claws. Now, this bucket has got a bit of everything in it. There's a bit of grass, there's probably a bit of cow poo in here too. Don't you worry about that because it is all southwestern, and what comes out of the southwest is good. Bit of olive oil in there, bit of WA garlic. I know, I'm doing it all in a bucket. Why not? Just gonna chuck that in there. With that, we go straight onto the hot plate. Woo-wee. They are looking good. Now, you'll notice over the last few months I've been running a fridge in this little compartment right here, which is perfect for because you can pull it out and get into your fridge. But we're only going away for 4 or 5 nights for this trip, so I've taken the fridge out because I needed to put a barbecue in. And that, I guess, is where this modular design comes in. There's no rules. You don't have to put a fridge in here. I've put the Weber in here. It goes in with a tie-down strap. It doesn't move, and it means that I can cook my marron. Now, I want to give you a quick tip when it comes to any shellfish, be it crayfish, marron, yabbies. A lot of people cook them on their shell side down first, correct. But then you'll go to turn them over because you want to get that striation, that burnt mark on the top so that when you serve them it looks cool. What that does is tips all the moisture out and goes straight down the back there and you get yourself a dry old scabby yabby. Keep them shell side down through the entire cooking process. Keeps the moisture in the shell, keep the lid down, keep all that moisture in there because you want that juice, you want that flavour of the rivers of the southwest. Don't tip them upside down because it all just goes out. Disgusting. Another couple of minutes there and I'm going to get the kids, I think Steph and Harley are down there somewhere. I'm going to call them up and give them their first taste of paradise. Like a gannet.
I've got to say, that is so much better than your pork muscle. It is actually so good.
You can feed yourself, big fella. No, actually, stuff it. Go on, get in there.
Real friends here.
There you
Oh,
go.
you got a bone on it.
No.
It's a bit hot, Dal.
How is it though?
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah? We're going to put the claws in there too because these bad boys here, when you crack these open, the meat inside the claw, they will make a mud crab claw look like you're eating wheat. That is pure juice. Broccolini on a barbecue. Has that ever been done?
Righto, mate. Pasta
Oh my
is
goodness
cooked.
gracious, your timing is impeccable. We're going to keep this really simple. Some onion, a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes, and of course some capers, and that is it. Oh my goodness, have a look at that. Look at the colours.
Yeah.
Have a go at that. Let's just slam that sucker in there. What I'm going to do here is just give it some of this action here.
He's a professional,
Just to try,
ladies and
because
gents.
otherwise
Look him go. Fooling
you've
us
got
all.
to, you've got to really try and work that around. Rightio, let's do this. Okay, to start with, let's just have a little bloody, have a go at that on the side.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. Oh, the man can plate up.
Harley.
sir.
Wait, but wait.
Oh, yep, sure. Go on.
Yeah, no, you know you like that.
Yes,
There
so
you go,
good.
guys. That is the best way,
Wonderful.
in my humble opinion, to eat marron. Simply served with pasta. There's not much in there. What do you think?
That's perfect.
Folks, if you've had marron before, I'd be really keen to see in the comments down below. Otherwise, for us tomorrow, big adventures. For now though, fire, let's sit down. You got any wine left?
No, mate, it's your shout.
Oh my goodness gracious me, folks. See you in the morning. Hey, you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
The South Coast is known for its tendency to give you 4 seasons in a day. 1 minute cold and raining, next minute hot and sunny. This morning though, well, she's picture perfect. Van life is pretty luxurious, but where we are headed today is definitely not towing friendly. So last night we unhooked and we'll be leaving the vans set up where they are.
Well, we've got a big day ahead of us today. We're going to take on the infamous Callcup Hill. Now, I've not actually used the old rumba
on the big patrol as yet, but I figured if ever there was a time to use it, today's probably going to be it. And I don't want to get down there and find out that maybe I've got a jammed rope or poor connection or something along those lines. So it's good practice before you head out for a hard day, just to get your winch, spool it out a bit like I've done here, and then just make sure everything's lickety-split. You can spool it back in again. And of course, if you haven't used your winch for a long time, it's a really good idea to spool it all the way out, put it under tension, put something on the end of it, you know, your spare tyre, and drag it back in and make those coils nice and neat across the entire length of the spool so that you haven't got any binding or kinking going on in there. This, of course, is the big Rumva 13 XP. I've been running the 11 XP on the D-Maxes over the years. Never had a problem with them, they just work. So, of course, when it came time to put a winch on this bad boy, I stepped it up a notch because she has got some weight issues. I've gone with the 13 XP. Callcup Dunes, here we come. Favourite part of the day coming up. Damn, that sounds good.
Our destination for the day is the notorious Callcup Hill, located back on the coast about an hour's drive away. First up though, I want to show the guys another incredible spot, the Yeagerup Dunes.
Are my eyes playing tricks on me, or has Harley got blonde hair?
Yeah, we just put a bit of hair and makeup on him, you know, dolled him up a bit.
He looking good. Nah, you've swapped drivers.
We certainly did. You know, I love a bit of a challenge behind the wheel, and I hear that we're in for a bit of a treat today.
A treat? That's an understatement. I'm going to show you why this little part of Western Australia is one of my favourite parts of the entire country. I think it's going to blow your mind. I think you're going to absolutely love it, and I'm freaking stoked that you're driving because straight up, we've got us a bit of a challenge. But get ready to lower your tyre pressures. That's my number one tip.
I always get the hard ones.
Buckle up, because this one, yep, she's a doozy.
We've just pulled up here at Yeagerup Dunes, so getting a look at the first one here, it looks pretty gnarly. So we're going down on the PSI, going to drop down to 14 straight up, and then if we struggle, we might go down a little bit further.
Obviously, like from previous episodes, you know, my four-wheel driving prowess is, you know, it's pretty up there with the best. But for those that might not have as great an idea about four-wheel driving as us, do you have any hot tips for sand duning for someone who's never done it before?
Well, your tyre pressures are down, your confidence is high. I think the combination of those two things is going to be all you need to sail yourself to the top. Watch me, I'll show you. You do what I do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you lead the way, my friend.
Alrighty, the entrance to the Yeagerup sand dunes, this part right here at the base is horrible because it's all weirdly off camber. Then you get into these whoop-de-doos here. This is when you got to put your foot down. Oh man, big 62. When your tyre pressures are right, straight up. Loves it! Haven't been up here for a while. I forget just how spectacular this part of the world is. Look at that.
Okay, he makes that look very easy.
Yeah. What I love about these sand dunes is that it's a bit of a gateway drug for anyone that's not done sand driving before, because you sort of come off a very easy track and then straight into this short, sharp, steep little sand dune. It's only very small, but it's super soft. The reason it's soft is because the prevailing winds come from that direction. They blow the sand off the top of the sand dune and back down into there. So every day, pretty much, you've got a brand new set of tracks you've got to get through to get up the top here. This, Steph's first time having a crack at a sand dune. I'm frothing, I'm going to bring her through, see how she goes. Nobody in the history of the West Australian four-wheel driving scene has ever driven up onto the Yeagerup Dunes in their first go before.
Oh, no pressure.
Rightio, come on up.
All right, deflated tyres and a large dose of confidence. We got this.
No, faster, faster. That's it, that's it. Go, go, go. Second gear, second gear, second gear. Pin it, pin it.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
What happened there? Where the lack of experience is coming in here is that she's not giving it enough mumbo, and sand is one of those things where you got to commit and give it to it, depending on your tyre pressures, but they have gone down to 14, which is pretty low. They may need to go down to 10. We'll see how we go.
All right.
Can't even see her.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's it, second gear. Come on, second gear. Give me it. Go. Hold it flat. Go and knock 4 PSI out of your tyres. That'll work.
All right, we've had a bit of a hard time with that there. So down to 10, I think, where the little girl's not quite getting to the top of the hill. We've stalled out a couple of times, so drop it down and we'll give her another crack.
One of the big problems people fall into, I suppose, is with the modern vehicles, you've got stability control and traction control. And in high range, neither one of those turns itself off. You've got to do it. What's happening is, as Steph's coming up, she's getting a little bit of wheel spin, and the vehicle's going, we don't want wheel spin, and so it's bogging her down. You turn both those things off, you can just keep it pinned and go for it. It's where a throttle controller comes in really handy too. Get rid of that throttle lag. Yeah, I know, throttle controllers don't give you any more power. That's 100% correct, but what they do is remap the throttle response so that when you put your foot down, you get that power a bit more instantaneously rather than being a lag there. She's got it this time. 15th time is a charm. Let's do this!
Out of the ruts, give it hell.
Oh, Jeebus creepers.
Yep, there you go.
I can see the difference already. Oh, you got to piss it in.
You've done that easy. Easy money.
Oh my God! Thank God!
It's all about time, Precious. All about time, Precious.
Oh, we did it! Oh my gosh!
With the climb conquered, we are into the dunes themselves, and the drive ahead is simply stunning.
When I was a kid, my dad used to drive out here with our little motorbike and he'd tow me along behind the motorbike on the bonnet of a V-dub. I used to scream and holler and hoot. Actually, not much has changed, I still do.
Can relate.
Safety first, I assume. There was a seatbelt mounted and all the rest.
1980s, mate. We weren't wrapped in cotton wool like the kids of today.
Bargain more, eh?
Yeagerup sand dunes, have a go at this. Turning it on.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. What's the finish point, mate? Where are we heading?
Having seen Steph tackle that little tiny dune, what do you say we tackle the biggest sand dune in the southwest? The Widowmaker. Let's head there right now.
From what we saw a few days ago, the Warren is probably still too high to cross. So we're going to loop through the forest and tackle Callcup from the east.
Well, we have just clocked over, 20,000 Ks in the first year of owning and driving the big Y62, and I reckon I'm pretty close to having it finished. Let me give you a number. I would say I'm about 80% of the way there. Most of the major things are done. It's just those little fiddly things that make it your own that I've yet to do. For example, I've got to get a snorkel on the big rig. That is in the pipeline. Pardon the pun. Few little tiny things though. One I was looking at this morning, the bar work down here, my side steps, they're starting to get a bit scuffed up from me stepping on them to get in and out of the vehicle. And I think what I'm going to do is just make it super simple on myself and just hit them with an old rattle can of the old Raptor. I've done it before on numerous bits and pieces. It's just such a simple and effective way of solving that problem. So, bit of Raptor on the bar work. But I want to know from you folks, why 62s? They're a bit of a one-sided car. You either love them or you don't. But regardless of what you think of them, in the comments down below, let me know. What would you do next to the big Y62? Please don't say throw it out, you'll hurt my feelings.
Some stormy weather is rolling in as we crest the hill, and the Southern Ocean appears ahead. And while the main challenge here is getting back off the beach, it turns out getting onto it is almost just as difficult.
Whoa, jeepers. Go cresting up over the top of the first little dune. Look at that. Sensational. Big old south coast. Man, the days I've spent down here. Folks, when you get up over that rise, have a look at the view of the south coast. I think the rain's actually adding to it.
Can't talk.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'll be with you shortly.
Oh, wow, it's gorgeous down here.
We just got to get up this hill. Try and follow.
Yep.
You got it. You got it. You can do it. Berries, berries. Oh, damn. Yeah, this is sick.
Well, guys, welcome to a South Coast beach.
Mate, thanks for having us.
I've said it before, the chance of sounding like a broken record, I'm going to say it again. In the world of four-wheel driving, off-roading, it doesn't matter what vehicle you got, doesn't matter your budget, doesn't matter your mods. The number one thing you can do to get further is tyre pressures. And nowhere is that more significant than on a soft beach. I'm at 14 PSI all the way around at the moment, and we're cruising along. One way you can test just how well your tyre pressures are doing, just take your foot off the accelerator and go into neutral, and you should coast to a stop. Give it a go. There we go, still rolling, still rolling, still rolling, still rolling. Beautiful. There you go, tyre pressures are about right. You'll know you've got them too high if you do what we just did and you come to it almost, you almost stop in your seat.
Before we tackle the mighty climb up Callcup, I'm taking the guys to the mouth of the Warren, this time on the other side to what I showed you guys a few days ago.
There is no way you are crossing this river. Each step is straight down to the knee.
This right here is the Warren River. Now, back this way is a notorious hill down here called Callcup Hill. Otherwise known, when I was growing up anyway, as the Widowmaker. The reason it was called the Widowmaker was, you got down to this beach here, the easy way out is that way, off the beach. But if you can't cross the Warren, like today you cannot cross the Warren, the only other way out during the winter months when you're down here fishing for salmon is to go up Callcup Hill. If you can't cross this, and you can't make it back up Callcup Hill, you got a widow on your hands back at home, because you got to live down here now. We are going to go and tackle that next. Let's get into it. Big Y62, up the hill.
Callcup is one of those climbs that never gets any easier. A huge sand dune that dominates the coast and runs for over a kilometre straight uphill. It's powder soft, full of turns and ruts, and this is the first time I've tackled it in the Y62.
It's funny, I don't know why, I'm a little bit nervous about going up Callcup. But I reckon the big 62's got me.
I would hope so, but look, if you can't get up there, there's no chance we're getting up, so all the best, brother.
The run off the beach isn't too bad, but that's just an anthill compared with the climb ahead.
Stephen Harley, first time attempting Callcup Hill, which you can see up there, that's it. That's Callcup going all the way up. Here they come. You've got, oh, hang on. Oh, shiver me timbers. Oh. Spicy. Yeah, I told you the start bit was a bit easy going. Once you get past that, she's easy runners.
Yeah, it's a big whip around though. There's a big turning angle that got me.
Yeah, I like what you're thinking here, the straight on approach.
Oh, go on, you got it, you got it. More foot, more foot.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
He's done it.
Easy.
Oh, how good's that?
What I love about Callcup is that you can see the entire dune up ahead of us.
Yeah, look, that doesn't instill a great deal of confidence in me, but I'm just going to toe off the back of you if worse comes to worse.
With the introductions over, it's time to tackle the climb itself.
All right, this is it. Even sitting up in my seat a little bit. Problem with the hill is the base has always got these whoop-de-doos, so you can't get any feel that way. You can't really see it, but trust me when I say, oh, it's just ridiculous. So you can't get any speed up. I'm going to try and go over to the left a bit. This is going to be a challenge. Straight up, I can tell. Drop back to first. fighting, she's struggling, she wants it. The big girl wants it, but unless I find some harder ground, not a chance. Not a chance.
No good.
Nah, not even close.
On a busy weekend, this place can see a fair bit of local traffic. But at the moment, there's not any recent lines to follow, and pushing through the fresh sand is a real struggle, even for the Y62. For my second attempt, I've gone down to 12 PSI, and following my own tracks is giving me that little bit of extra traction.
Get to this soft stuff here and you've got all sorts of problems. And you get these whoop-de-doos. Back into first. Back into first. She wants it this time. She's hungry for it. She's hungry for it. Dunno. Dunno. She wants it. Hang on, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Come on, you big girl. 4,000 RPM. First gear. Woohoo! Holy heck, thermo fans are on. Yeah, good luck.
I'm nervous.
I didn't notice.
Oh well, there's not much.
Confidence, remember? Confidence and PSI.
Well, that was it.
There you go. And a few little bumps. We're good, we're good.
Jesus.
Here they come, bouncing their way up.
Yeah,
You look like a drunken hippo. You can do this. Woohoo!
I think we're going all right. We're just trying to putt our way up, mate. We've got a different tactic, and she's just revving its guts out in low gear.
Yeah, Rogie. Stick in my tracks if you can.
You got this, Orge.
Third gear, you know.
Oh.
You doing it?
Oh. Stopping? Stalling? Stopping.
Oh, that looks like you might have stopped.
Tried a cheeky gear change. That did not work.
That old chestnut.
Alright. This is the one, mate. You got this.
I don't know what to do here. It's getting pretty chopped up. It's just turning me sideways and then just bouncing. I can't get traction.
Lucky I'm young.
The old Widowmaker.
I ain't got no ring on this finger.
Once again, letting out some air is the best solution here. Although in Steph and Harley's case, there's not much to play with.
All right, we are actually running out of ideas here. So we're dropping right down to 7, which is about as low as I'd be comfortable going. So we'll give it one more run. We're getting back as far as we can. We've taken up all the runway. If this doesn't work, who knows?
I tell you what, Callcup, she never gets any easier. And I mean, this is a rainy day too. Imagine this, 40 degrees, middle of summer, 30 cars have already been up it. You can see why it creates so much drama. You think you're done. You get to here, that's the false summit. Callcup Hill, put it on your list. You're going to walk up this now. You'll speed by us. You'll need to put your brakes on at the top. Go for it.
Right out. Cheers, boss.
That's it.
Just watch your turn. Don't turn too sharp with the pressure so low. That's it. Piece of piss now.
Yeah, come on. You got this. You got this. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. My man.
Look at that.
Yeah, walking it in.
Third gear, baby.
Third gear, 7 PSI.
Sorted.
No peeing in the pants.
Small pee in pants.
There, I've said it so many times. Again, broken record. Tyre pressures are everything. They were at 10 PSI. They had 4 or 5 goes get up here. No way. They were never going to make it. Dropped down to 7, so just 3 PSI. But when you think about it, that's 30% of their tyre volume was let out again, down to 7 PSI. What sand dune? Sailed straight up it.
It is everything to do with tyre pressures. When you think you're down low, go lower.
He did it. He did it.
Dork dance coming
Dork dance coming on. He did it.
This is what we're looking at. Not really whether you can see the angle on that.
Yeah, but she's steep.
It's steep. Get it.
Get it, Jones. Get it, Jones.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
He's on the home stretch now.
Oh, never in doubt. Never in doubt.
6 months on the road. Beers, barbecues, Marron pastures.
Yeah, we were not in peak physique, that's for sure. Oh my gosh.
And what Graham describes as the widowmaker. I think I just found out why.
Believe it or not, we're only halfway up this massive climb. But with our pressures sorted, it feels like we found our length and all our rigs are sailing to the top.
Yeah, top section's not too bad. I think you'll sail up there, guys. Give it a go.
This is absolutely one of the more unique things you can do in a four-wheel drive anywhere. And it's the perfect way to wrap up a trip.
Oh,
Callcup, C for conquered.
Too easy.
Well, folks, that is a little taste of the southwest. And you've conquered Callcup.
Yeah, how bloody good. There's been a couple of ups and downs over the last few days, but yeah, that was definitely a high.
Yeah, she's a magic little part of the world, and I'm glad you guys got to see it. You got to see all the different weather scenarios as well.
This is true.
Yeah, you've really turned it on for us. Thanks for that.
I reckon I can do one better. What do you say we head back into Pemby? And I know a building in Pemby that I reckon you two will enjoy.
Well, all of these sandy hills, you know, it's pretty thirsty work.
Funny you should say that. This particular building, we'll look after that. Let's head to Pemby. First beer on me.
Love your work, mate.
It's been such a privilege for me to get to show you around the place where I grew up. And soon, we're into the sleepy little town of Pemberton itself and a classic watering hole, the Pemby Pub.
Well, I got to say, it has been an absolute pleasure to bring Steph and Harley down to my old stomping ground, my old neck of the woods. This little picture-perfect corner of Western Australia, Pemby, the old Pemby pub. We're having dinner in here tonight and a couple of brewskis. Folks, the Southern Capes region, I know, here I go again, sounding like a broken record, is my hometown. I love the place to death. If you've never been to the Capes region of Western Australia, get on down here and check this place out. Now, where do we go from here? I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet because I'm sure you'll find out, but we are heading east. A long, long way east. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Cheers to you guys. I'm going back in.
Yep. Nice. We still got plenty more tough tracks to go. Beautiful.
Well, Jesse, straight in for a night run. It looks like this track goes straight up as well.
Oh! Wow! Wheels in the air. He wasn't backing off. Oh my God.
It's time for the great presentation of who takes out the Drivers' Championship